What's going on, my friends? I hope you guys are all doing well. It is December 16th. We are rounding the corner and approaching Christmas here in just a few days, really. So I hope all of you guys have been doing really, really well with the holidays and enjoying your time with your family as we approach Christmas. We are playing Christmas-like themed music, so hopefully you guys don't get too annoyed with that. I'm trying to stay kind of festive in the moment. Yeah, we haven't streamed in a little while. I try to keep my streams sporadic and random, as counterintuitive as that is as a content creator. I like to just stream when things are important, right? I don't like to kind of hope people up or hopium people up, and stream for no reason, just to kind of get your face out there, your words out there. I like to stream when there's a reason to stream, and today there was a big reason to stream. We had a Bitcoin hit all-time highs, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, all-time highs today. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at things real quickly on the 1 hour, and let me share with you guys my chart. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. Before I forget, if you guys would do me a huge favor, like this stream, whether you're watching it on YouTube or X. It goes a long way. By like it, I mean give me the little thumbs up on both platforms. It goes a long way. And also, if you would reshare it, whether it's a retweet or if you're just copying it and telling your friends that we're live, it's something for people to watch, and hopefully if they do watch, they'll get some information that it may be useful to them in their trading or investing career journey, wherever it might be. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to give people food for thought, and just stuff for them to digest on their journey. Hopefully it's helpful. With that being said, let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Oh, and also, of course, this is always an open space. So you guys have any questions whatsoever, what's that? Just let me know, and I will take a look at things for you. Let me go ahead and take a look at things right here. Let's go ahead and take a look at things right here on the 1 hour. Okay, we're looking at Bitcoin on the 1 hour right now. And as you can see, we're down from our highs. Our highs, we topped out at 107,798, give or take a couple of cents, give or take a couple of dollars, right? Insane. That is massive, absolutely massive. We are testing and on our way to 110, which is going to be obvious resistance. Any round number, whether it be 10, 20s, 30s, whatever it is, right? That's always going to be a psychological round number for most people that are going to be either using bots or just trading, trying to take profits manually themselves. So be careful with that, right? As we always come up to all-time highs, as we're trying to find all-time highs, people have their own set places in that path that they're going to be taking profits. So not that it's bad. We got to have sellers to have buyers, and and that's how it goes. But I just want to put like a real spin on things. We're not just going to go up into the right forever, right? Like, we're going to have buyers and sellers. As you can see right here, we're having our ebbs and flows. We have a pump, we have a dump, we have a pump, and we have more of a pump, and then we have a little bit of sideways action, a little bit of a dump, we have a pump, a little bit of dump, a pump, and you guys get what I'm saying, a dump, a pump, and a dump. Right now, again, guys, we're on the 1 hour time frame. It doesn't take much in order for you to kind of get a general gist of where maybe support may be on the charts, whether you're using the 1 hour, the 4 hour, the daily. I like to use the daily. I'm a higher time frame kind of person. But regardless of what time frame you like to use, just keep in mind that all you really need, in my humble opinion, is an EMA or an SMA. I like to use the SMAs, they're simple moving average, on most time frames, especially the higher ones. From 1 hour and up, like, I would just recommend putting on whatever chart you like to use, wherever you like to look at things, right? I like to use TradingView like a lot of other people. Put on there the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA. It's really easy, guys. Just take a look at the 50 SMA, which is this thinner line here. That, in the short term, speaking of things, right? And I'm talking about like if you're a day trader and whatnot, that should give you a pretty general guideline or idea of where support should be on the charts, especially when things are in a bullish form, or like the narrative is bullish, the fundamentals are bullish, the chart is looking bullish, right? The trend is our friend until it's not. I would take a look at the 50 SMA in order for you to kind of judge where support might be if we have downwards price action. And right now, as you can see, whenever in the past, just recently in the past, whenever we've had recent downwards price action, the 50 SMA has held up somewhat of general support, right? Again, this is the 1 hour time frame. Yes, we did have moments where we did cut down below, but in all, if you can look back and back test some of this price action on the 1 hour time frame, you can see that the 50 SMA is a general good place for you to maybe start DCAing in on your trade, right? I'm not telling you put all your chips on the table. I'm not telling you to push it all up front, right? Don't be an idiot. Practice proper risk management. Be a little bit conservative with things. But the 50 SMA on the shorter time frames, and what I mean by shorter time frames, again, the 1 hour to the 4 hour, if you're a day trader and stuff like that, is a general good place for you to first start taking a look for some sort of support to come in on downwards price action. I'm a daily time frame kind of person. So let's go ahead and take a look at the daily right now. And the daily time frame, you can see this is, guys, don't mind all the marks. I like to leave my marks up there on the charts because I'm not one of those people that only show you guys things whenever it's just or when it's beneficial for me when I go live. And like, I keep it up there and I try to see how things play out. Earlier, the reason why all these things are on there is people were asking me, where would support come in? Where am I looking if price dips? And I was showing them, like, on the daily time frame, it's really easy. We have this trend line of support that has held up quite well. That would be my first zone on my 4x4 DCA strategy. The 50 SMA, obviously, I marked it out for you. The long-term daily support line, which is all the way down here, and then the 200 SMA. To kind of go back to my point, though, and hopefully this music isn't too loud for you guys. To kind of go back to my point, though, the 50 SMA, the 200 SMA, simple moving average, no matter what time frames you're looking at, is a general good place for you to be looking at as far as support. It's not to say that it's going to happen, but that's a good place. Let me kind of turn this down just a little bit because it's throwing me off. All right. So anyway, going back into it, guys. This is the daily time frame. We're using Market Cipher as our favorite oscillator indicator tool of choice. You can use whatever you want. I've just got a lifetime membership of Market Cipher, and I think it's a great tool. So we're using it. We use Heikin-Ashi candles with Market Cipher because that's what it was built around. And as you guys can see here, going back to my support lines, the daily time frame, short-term daily time frame support line is this line right here, which is held up so far, right? And from when it got tested here, when I pointed this out to a lot of people, and I'm not, I'm just eyeballing. I'm not going to try to be exact or claim fame or nothing like that. But from the support line where it caught support to where we are right now, in less than 6 days, you are up almost 11%. That is massive, especially if you are a leveraged player, right? If you like to take leveraged positions in the markets, your 11% up on the charts is massive. It's a massive win. I would highly suggest, again, as we're trending through all-time highs, or we're trying to find, that new resistance, which is probably going to be around that 109 to 110, obviously. I would be at least laddering out of your position, securing your initial investment, and your wins. Not financial advice, but that's what I would do. I like to hit my triple plus play, which is my initial investment plus some profits in fiat, and then it's not short, but like free and clear of the asset of whatever I got into on that position, right? If it's Bitcoin, have some free and clear Bitcoin for the long haul. But that's what I try to do for any of my short-term plays, guys. I try to just get my triple plus play whenever, especially if I'm up a double-digit percent on the charts, whether it's 10% or more. Like, I'm starting to ladder out. I'm trying to hit that triple plus play. But that's just me, not financial advice. You guys do you. Let me get a sip of this coffee. Coffee is good at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, so as we trended upwards, guys, if we keep getting downwards price action and we do come back down, again, all I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this out. It's worked so far, so no reason to stop what we've been watching until it's totally invalidated. So short-term price action support on the daily time frame is I'm just going to watch this line right here. It's been holding up. There's no reason to invalidate it just yet, right? So we're going to watch. We're going to see on our 4x4 DCA strategy, which is just our first zone, if we get downwards price action, I'm going to watch to see if right about 96,000, I'd say about 96 because momentum will take you there, right? It's 97, but let's just say 96 to be conservative. Let's see if 96, 97 holds up as support if we get downwards price action. A lot of people taking profits at all-time highs, right? At really good price action. And it's, guys, they should, right? They should. I know I did. But let's see if that holds up. And then if it doesn't, we're just going to watch to see what unfolds with the 50 SMA. We're going to watch to see what unfolds with the 50 SMA here, which if I was to kind of just project outwards and kind of speculate, is going to be somewhere around that 93,000 as the SMA climbs, right? Price action will be coming down to meet up with the SMA. And so it's going to be probably right around there, that low 90,000. Short. Yeah, short. Yeah, it would make sense. You would think so, right? You would think so. But at the same time, you got to remember, most, which I don't think you're necessarily wrong, but you got to remember the whales like to eat up and or down. They don't care where the liquidity is. They'll push the liquidity where they want to push it. And it's definitely all about funding rates, and it's all about how many people are actually taking leverage positions. And you can see all of that great stuff on chain, which is a great thing about crypto. You can see all of that stuff. So definitely, if you're shorting, pay attention to that. You definitely don't want to get caught with your pants down. It may look like a good position to take, but obviously a lot of people also thought that this was a great position to short here, right? And it was. Honestly, it was, to be very frank with you, from this high, which nobody ever catches the app, like, unless you're just lucky or like just genius. But from this 106 down to the move here until we caught support, like, it was a decent move down, right? So if you're actively taking profits on your shorts and not being just stupid with your risk tolerance or with your risk management, it was probably a good move. But yeah, like right now, especially on the 1 hour time frame, like the time to short would have been when we were testing that 108, price point for Bitcoin. You could probably still get away with it. Maybe look for the 50 SMA on your short, which is going to be about 103 or whatnot. But then, you gotta kind of look at the information. I haven't looked at it, so I'll just be totally upfront with that. I haven't looked at any of the information just yet. I just like to remind people who do short, or even long for that matter, to take a look at that. It's always important to take a look at those two key things: the funding rates, and then, the exposure to how much longs or how much leverage positions are out there, right? Let me see. Let me catch up with you, most. Hold on 1 second. Let me see here. You said short. By the way, thanks for the comments, man. Bitcoin going to 88K next 10 days. I could see that. You shorted at 107. You smart man. You smart man. Just be sure to take, realize those wins, man. Shorted to 107. 100% BTC at 88 in 10K. Let me see here. What's up, Bambino? Mic is popping a little bit, clipping. I'm sorry. I've been having admittingly, I'm not the best at it. My settings might be off, or my gain might be a little shitty. Should I just turn down my gain a little bit, right? Or am I too close to it? Maybe I'm just too close to it. I'll keep it away just a little bit. What's up, Chad? Let me see here, because most is saying 88K. Let me see here. So I don't necessarily disagree with you, right? Like, it definitely there's multiple reasons on why that could happen. I think 88K would be, especially now with the price action, would be kind of, it wouldn't be hard, but there'd have to be a lot of bearish support coming in. So let's go back on the daily time frame, take a look at my chart here, right? This is just real easy peasy charting for people. It doesn't take rocket scientists or brain surgeon to do this stuff. So we have support here, like I said, right around that, this support line, the short-term support line here. We have the SMA, the 50 SMA could prove support because bots trade the SMAs. Again, that's funny because the SMA that we're showing here, if it does cut through, could be right around here. That 88K, like our friend Mos is saying, could be this 50 SMA that they're hunting right here. So that's what I was saying. I actually don't think that you're wrong. It could actually happen. And whenever you get so far, ever since the halving, whenever you get the 50 SMA opportunity presented to you, that's usually been a good time to start DCAing into a long position for Bitcoin's price action, right? Not telling you guys what to do, but I could see that. I could definitely see that 88K, like our friend is saying here. So yeah, I can see that. I'm prepared, guys. I'm prepared literally to DCA into every one of these points right here. And if you don't think price action can't take you down there, it definitely can. You just haven't been in crypto long enough, right? Like, so I'm looking out for this short-term support line here on the daily time frame. I'm looking for the 50 SMA. I'm looking for a long-term support line, which realistically could come all the way down here to that mid 70s, right? This is long-term support right here. We had 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches here before we blasted off. Don't think that it can't come back down there again and retest that. It definitely can. It's still well above the 200 SMA, which is this point right here on the charts. You see that here? Guys, as long as we're still above the 200 SMA, the trend is still intact long term, right? So like healthy price action long term needs to have its ebbs and flows. It needs to have these big, historically has had its strong drawdowns, you know? So in all of those conversations, trend's still intact. I know people, every bearish person in the world, if it came down to retest the 200 SMA, would it's all over, everything's done, blah 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 blah. But if you like really zoom out, and if I take all of this off, keep in mind again, the thick bold line is our 200 SMA. The trend would still be intact long term, right? The trend would still be intact long term. Matter of fact, look at this. It's gonna be all wonky here. Stair-stepping price action, right? Long term. It's still good. It's still good if you have a long enough time horizon. But if you're a trader, definitely keep in mind. Let me get caught up with the chat. Ambito, is my mic still pretty shitty? I gotta get everything put back onto it. And I also gotta get the settings right. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm gonna go to this setting. Maybe that's the setting there. Dude, let me see here. I see you guys' stuff. A little hot. Chad, what's up, Chad? Chad said, yo, good times, miss listening to you. When way you finish, check your disc. Oh, when I thought you were trying to talk to me about like some weightlifting whey, like protein whey or something like that. For a second, I was like, what? Oh man, as you get older, things don't make any sense. I would definitely check our Discord, dude. I'll check it. Let me see here. Mo says, dude, please look at last December, January. Definitely, I can definitely do that. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna make it to. And let me take all this crap off. Excuse me. Typo. What's up, Mrs. Snickers? What's up, Snickers? Making me hungry with that. Snickers. Snickers. Gosh, I had to think of what year. What year is it? It's there we go. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Okay, let me find this section here. Are you talking about this pretty good drawdown from the top down to the bottom here? Like if we're on the weekly here, but if you go to here, I'm assuming that this might be what our friend is talking about here. There was a 20% drawdown last year around this time, right? Around Christmas time here. Let's actually see if I can get this on the daily and go hunting for that again. Where was I? I will definitely check so. In just a minute here. It was here. There we go. Is this what you're talking about, my friend? Are you talking about this section here on the charts here? What day was this? Oh no, that's January. Where's December? Are you talking about January? The exact same pattern? Yeah. It stuck out like a sore thumb. So yeah, it could happen for sure. It definitely could happen. We have the sayings for a reason. Things don't necessarily repeat themselves, but they rhyme, and they do so for reasons, right? Especially in crypto exact same time. Yep. So it could definitely be prepared for it, right? Like I told people on our last stream, maybe it was the last stream or whatever it is, I took profits when Bitcoin hit 103 on my short-term bags. Like I'm free and clear of any short-term position. Actually, let me hold on a second. Let me actually make this absolutely clear to people. I took on my short-term holdings, not my long-term bags, which never get touched. I have 2 Bitcoin left. They're in my saves, and they're in my cold storage wallet. They're never going to touch nothing. It's my long-term hold. But my short-term positions that I have, I'm out of any of my short-term positions. And it's not that I don't think it could go higher. I definitely think it could. But from where I got into my position to where, when it hit 103, I was happy with it. I was like over the moon about it. So I sold all my short-term positions of Bitcoin, and I'm actually waiting for a better entry for my short-term positions for Bitcoin. And this is kind of, to go back to what our friend is saying, this is kind of one of the reasons, of why I did that, because historically, like there's probably going to be an opportunity for me to get into a better position, right? Or a more lucrative position as far as my short-term bags go. And so like I use those trading positions of mine in order to stack more Bitcoin long-term, to secure fiat, obviously, because I paid my bills in fiat, and then to stack more long-term Bitcoin with my short-term holdings. But yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm right there with you. Mr. Snickers says, can you check out Sol right now? Yeah, let's do it. Sol right now, 218, down 2.74%. I'm sorry, guys. Again, if the music's a little weird and stuff like that, I'm trying to be festive. It's the Restream apps music. I don't know. I get it, but it's kind of sometimes obnoxious. So we're taking a look at Sol right now. Again, we're on the daily time frame here. We're on the 50 SMA on the daily time frame. Again, for me, the 50 SMA, especially for good positions. I was going to say assets, but like for good positions, and I guess you can kind of say for good top tier assets in crypto that have interest, that have liquidity. I think the 50 SMA on the daily time frame is always a good place to start looking for support, to see how momentum's treating the asset, to see if it's gaining a little bit of support at that 50 SMA. It's a good place to just pay attention to, right? I haven't bought any more at the 50 SMA. I'm interested. I am super interested at restacking a short-term position or trade for Solana. Again, short-term, right? And my short-term might be like a month time frame and stuff like that. I'm a little bit longer than most people. I look at things on a daily time frame. But I think Solana right now is really interesting because historically, over the past couple of weeks, or about a week or so, a couple of days, we have found support on the 50 SMA. Back here we did. We definitely did cut through it for a bit here, right? We chopped through it and stuff like that. But it was a good place nonetheless. If you started at the 50 SMA, right, is here, to start laddering in on a DCA strategy. So I probably will. I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm looking for an entry on Solana. Be honest with you though, I'm really more so looking for a position somewhere between the two SMAs for Solana. Again, the 50 SMA is here, the 200 SMA is here, and it just kind of correlates and goes along with our wedge pattern that's lining up for us here. You can see short-term support here along with our, which was once resistance level here, kind of lining up in between the two SMAs. So if I get a position somewhere here, I wouldn't be too mad about that. But that's where I'm looking. And if you don't think that Solana can come down to $180, again, you're insane. You're absolutely kidding yourself. It definitely can. It definitely can. Not to say that it's going to, and I might small feeler buy in a little bit before, because even I get FOMO and stuff like that with my risk management. It gets the best of me still. Sometimes I'm like, it's not going to get there, and I have to buy something. And if I do, and I will say, if you guys do as well, really use this tip. But it's not financial advice. It's more like life advice. If you just have to buy something because you get FOMO and you're just like absolutely convinced that no matter what, it's you're going to miss it if you don't. Spend. It sounds silly, but spend just a little. $20, $50. You don't even have to buy a whole Solana. Just buy a little bit. Spend $5 on your position. You will satisfy that itch knowing that you just did something. Most people think that they have to buy a whole coin, whether it's Solana, whether it's Ethereum, whether it's Litecoin, whether it's whatever. They feel like they haven't made a position unless they buy a whole coin or more, and that's not the case. Sometimes if you are just getting FOMO, you can't help yourself, buy what it would cost to go to McDonald's. Buy something like $15, $20. If you're like me and I got a family of 4, it costs you like $40. But buy whatever it would be that you wouldn't miss it and that you would justify, I would have spent that anyway in the daytime. Buy a little bit. It will satisfy your FOMO itch that you have. I promise you, and it will save your life. Because if you're wrong and you FOMO into something and it just keeps dying off or going further down, you're gonna feel like complete ass. But just saying, Ambito, is my mic still clipping, guys? I'm so sorry. I gotta figure out. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy the Elgato mic because Blue Yeti, I used to like whatever, but like it's just I'm so over it. I'm over it. I know it's user error, so before you guys say anything like that. Mo says look at daily. Are you talking about Bitcoin again? Yeah. I agree with you, bud. I agree with you. I think there's a strong possibility that 88 could definitely happen. Even if it doesn't come like, all the way down to that point, again, it doesn't have to repeat itself. It can just come close to rhyming. And if it comes down to that 92, it would still be in the realm of what you're speaking about. And I think it's justifiable to think that it could possibly come down there because of those things. Compare. I appreciate the view. Another question: do I think Filecoin? Are you talking about Filecoin? Is a good? So I'm pretty sure I have Filecoin somewhere on here. I know I can just type it in, guys, but I swear I have it on here. Sometimes I like just looking for it. There, yeah, I do. Okay, so this is what I had for. You can see that I was charting it at some point, right? So Filecoin. Ooh, what was I doing with it? Why is that big line there? Why was that big line there? It was such a long time ago. I think I had told somebody at 665, basically where we are right now, probably that would be. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I remember. Maybe it was you that asked me this. So if you look at this, right, we're on the weekly time frame here, Filecoin. Right now, you're sitting at its previous resistance before it blasted off here. You got to remember this huge, and I can't even get it on the screen here without manipulating things. Let me go to the month. You got to remember when it had this like crazy rocket, like bullish price action, it was very, very narrative driven. There was a lot of Chinese interest back then. I remember because I was wanting to mine Filecoin. I was looking in for all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. But there was a ton of interest with Filecoin from the Chinese market back then. You got to ask yourself right now, if you're going to be laddering in on this price action right now as it stands, one, right, you can see that we're at recent resistance that's held up thus far. Would you want to be testing the ceiling or buying the lows again that has been holding up? This is obviously, I hate using the word manipulated, but this is obviously being quote unquote manipulated, right? Because look at that price action. Resistance, support down here. This is on the monthly time frame. This is a good amount of long-term resistance and support. For me personally, I don't think that this would be a good accumulation zone for me to accumulate, because like more often than not, it probably will come back down to these sections down here. And why would I want to accumulate when I could do it down there, for whatever reason? And then I admittedly don't know the catalyst for Filecoin or why you would want to invest or hold Filecoin long term. I think there's I'm a cosmonaut, so I'm just going to be extremely honest about this and transparent. I think there's better opportunities with storage application plays in the crypto landscape, like Jackal. And again, I'm very biased because I'm a cosmonaut and I know a bit about Jackal, but I think Jackal has a lot better token structure. It's favored a lot more for long-term holders. Obviously, you can stake it. I don't even know what you can do with Filecoin. Can you stake it? Can you earn a yield from holding it? Is the yield worth holding it compared to the downwards price action that it might see? I don't know. And admitting that I don't know, so it could be an overwhelming positive thing to accumulate Filecoin. I don't know, but I don't know, so I'm just going to say that. But the last 3 years wasn't a bull market. However, where it is now, only in my opinion, going to bull, I think it stands a better chance to go up based on charting. So yeah, if you just go off TA, possibly, but TA, in my humble opinion, is just a delayed response of what's happening out there fundamentally for any project and or token, right? And when you're talking about the cost for people to run the file network, again, I know it probably still costs an exorbitant amount. I know how much it was because I was looking into it. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot to run the infrastructure just for regular people, right? It's a lot to run that. I don't know what the storage cost is for somebody that wants to store stuff on Filechain or Filecoin. I'm sorry, and also I don't know how much interest is out there. So I don't know, man. I like maybe you could do it just purely based on charting, but if I'm looking at this, I don't think that there's a catalyst based on charting that's going to make me feel confident enough to do so, even if it's a bull market, because it's you know, if you think about it, this was the bull market pump that we got, you know, this section right here, because when was the halving? I forget, when was the halving, guys? It was like leading up into that. Yeah, the halving was April. That's right, it was April. So leading up into the halving, or the anticipation phase, you guys, again, these boxes right here, people say bull, bear, crab market, or whatever. Really and truly, like, let's call the phases what they really are: the anticipation, appreciation. Well, first appreciation, which is the bull market, depreciation, and anticipation to the next halving, right? Let's just call it what they are. The anticipation phase is where the prime opportunity is to get into a position, whether it's, you know, big pop up Bitcoin, or if it's the second best Ethereum or whatever, or even altcoins, right? Like the anticipation phase was usually more often than not the best phase to buy into at the lows. And I you know, after the halving, I'd say we're back into the appreciation phase. So if you look back at Filecoin again, you could kind of say, in my humble opinion, and this is just my humble opinion. You reset the charts here and zoom in. You can kind of say that this was our anticipation phase here, and then everybody was like, nah, right? I don't know what this catalyst is here. Why was there a bump here? I don't know. So again, I can't speak to that, but that's just when I'm looking at it, I think that there's probably a better place on the daily. Let me go to the daily. Yeah, I'd buy in on the SMAs. Again, I would just go buy in on the SMAs, or below the SMAs, the 200 SMA, right? I would buy in on it. Like, and you could do this too for Filecoin. 200 SMA, what's the average low? Let's just say, man, 50% from the 200 SMA on the daily time frame when it cuts below that. It's, yeah, look at that, 40% below the 200 SMA. So if it doesn't catch a bid or support on the SMAs, man, it could go another 40% or more under the 200 SMA, and it's done it in the past. So it's kind of like, it's not my opinion, it's doing it. I don't know. Yeah, that's just what I look at though. If you know an actual catalyst, like, to why, let me know, because that, you know, I'm always looking for reasons to get into things if I can make money. To get your perspective, makes sense. One more I'm not a meme coin person, but about Doge. Doge has the best possibility to run, honestly, because of the Elon effect, because it's the number one meme token by far. The founder doesn't have any, and there's people. I will say, you know, I didn't read into it. I did see that there was some fuckery when it comes to the nodes and stuff like that, or like, I don't want to say quote unquote there was an attack. Maybe there was an attack or whatever it was. I did see that. I didn't really read into it. But Doge is Doge, and it's found everywhere. The thing about Doge, the powerful thing about Doge, right, is you literally can find Doge everywhere. You can find it on Robinhood, just about every exchange, and it's all about the accessibility and liquidity, right, when it comes to especially meme tokens. And people who don't get it, but have heard of, like, don't get crypto, what I mean by that, but have heard of Doge. Like, I know a ton of people, maybe not a million, I know a ton of people have absolutely no idea about crypto whatsoever, but they have heard of Doge, and they have access to it on PayPal, on Robinhood, on, I don't know, does Venmo do it? I don't know. Basically everything they could possibly get their hands on, they can buy it. And people did it last time. They will speculate on it just because of name recognition and liquidity. So Doge, I think, honestly, if you're ever going to get into memes, that's the one thing that I would say you could throw something at it. Like, I've told family members this with Doge, because they're always like, hey, is it a good thing with Doge? I'm like, nobody knows. Nobody knows when they bullshit you and try to tell you that they do. They're lying to you. Just throw like if you just get the FOMO, throw $5 here or there at Doge, and set a reasonable DCA or dollar cost average, automated dollar cost average, whether it's on Coinbase, Kraken, whatever it is, and just forget about it, because Doge is now it's transcending crypto. It's culture, and that's more important than any kind of fundamental thing that any crypto token is looking to have. Like, when we talk about like tokenomics and fundamentals and stuff like that, you could strive to make the most sense ever in your protocol or project, but if you have culture, that supersedes any other nerdy bullshit ever. Like, if you have culture on your side where kids get you, millennials get you, boomers get you, and all this other stuff, that's more important than anything else. That'll transcend crypto fundamentals all day long. So Dogecoin, for that simple fact, is always going to be a buy, in my opinion. I don't really even care where you buy it from, honestly. Do I even have Dogecoin on here? Oh, I can't speak. I can't type. Doge. Oh, is that the Doge market? That's the market cap. Damn it. I do have it on here somewhere. Look at that. Doge, Coinbase. Let's just go to Coinbase here. Oop, I'll put it on there a bunch of places. Yeah, okay. So let's zoom out. One, like, this is what I'm talking about right here. Look, we're basically at, since Coinbase, I know this isn't the best one, we're basically at like some of the best, anybody that's ever held Doge right now. This is what I mean by transcending, like, when you have culture on your side. All these people are in profits with their Doge holding. This is like one of the best charts you've ever seen in crypto, ever. The only people right now are these small smidget of people on the Coinbase chart, right, that are out of profits. You go here, the total market cap, like, look, compared to anybody that got in on a total market cap down there. What are my feelings about Dot? I heard Dot was actually working on a bunch of things. I heard Dot was actually working on a whole bunch of things. Admittingly, because I'm a cosmonaut, sometimes it blinds me to all the other cool things that are happening out there. By the way, can you guys still hear me? I took off my camera, so hopefully you guys can still hear me. Mr. Snickers, can you still hear me? Let me know. So yeah, let me go here. Let me just take a look at Dot. The thing that never resonated with me was their parachain auctions. It was so expensive. So expensive. But Dot right now down 1.39. I was charting out some Dot for some people. Here's the thing, right? There's a lot of people still underwater when it comes to their Dot holdings. For me personally, short term, again, we're on the weekly time frame. You can go to the daily time frame here as well. I would be looking to get in first short-term bag, long-term bags, right? The bluish levels, short-term bags, long-term bags is here where I was interested. But I'll be looking at these zones here, 618, 579, 520. That's where I would be looking for to DCA into a short-term holding. Long-term holdings, I'm looking all the way down here, 423, 361, 275. I know price action didn't really get down to the 275, but the point of that is to reinforce your position with more positions so that you don't get overexposed to the hurt, right? Because so you're laddering yourself into a better position by doing so. But still, like, if you get in on those positions, I think that'd be a really, really good, advantageous and profitable position to get into. Again, you can see here, especially that $3.61. If it presents itself again to you guys, there's a lot of people that will reinforce that position for Dot if it ever goes back down to there than anything else. And it's not my opinion. Like, you can see it here, here, and here. So that's a huge level, right? Also, 423, huge level as well. So I don't know. Practice proper risk management. Be careful about it. Link is ripping people's faces off. Link looks absolutely great. Ethereum over $4,000, looking absolutely wonderful. Kind of playing out just like I was hoping it played out, to be honest. Not to be that guy, but just to be honest with you guys, kind of playing out exactly like I was hoping it played out. I do think that we're going to get some resistance. Let me go to the monthly here. Fix this. You see here, don't ignore all this stuff, guys. There's a lot of markings, and I put my mouth and reputation where it is all the time. Because if I always move this, and you're gonna be like, ah, he's full of shit. He only moves it when he wants to move it and it's relevant. Nah. So we have this trend line here, right? I'm gonna hopefully not screw this up, but I'm gonna project this out. Hopefully I didn't screw that up. I should have done that on the daily here. Yeah, I didn't mess it up that bad. So I project this resistance line out that I'm expecting this to be resistance if we keep pumping upwards. And it's gonna be ebb and flowing throughout this. It's average, support, resistance here, right? And I'm just speculating and projecting outwards here. And then we have this yellow line here, which let me make it bigger for you guys. Let me make it bigger, she said. Let me make it bigger. Or he doesn't, whatever your preference is. But we have this long-term support line here, right? That I was charting out for you guys as well. Let me just throw that out there here. Yeah, so we're kind of in between this reverse wedge pattern here. And I think that while we try to find our way upwards with a lot of ebbs and flows for Ethereum, I think hopefully the 50 and the 200 SMA, which is right here, holds up for us. You know, we kind of trend in this manner. It's not going to happen exactly like that. But we kind of just trend on the higher side of the 50 SMA and get rejected over and over again on this resistance line that I have projected out. And I think that'd be really good. I think that'd be really healthy if we do that. If it does reverse, and for whatever reason, Ethereum just runs into a bunch of issues, right? Just take a look right here. The 2,800 price point is going to be a really good, strong level to start DCAing into it. Let's go here. I'm going to wrap it up here in just a minute. I promised myself and my kids I wouldn't be long. Let me see here. I don't know if I have those on there. Hold on one second. Let me see here. Oh, on Coinbase. No, nothing of fundamentals, but this is a damn nice looking chart. Huge cup being formed right now. Huge cup being formed right now. So that is that kind of, again, when I say these things, I kind of admittingly take an over concerning position, right? Because it's all about statistics. It's all about averages and stuff like that. And so when I'm looking at this, and again, this is, hopefully I'm not saying this, I'm just going to say the abbreviation, AERO, arrow, whatever. When I look at this, right, like you could say, just by looking at this, that this looks like a huge cup. What happens after a cup? Which, keep in mind when I say this, right, that a cup and handle pattern is super bullish. Super bullish, but you gotta give it time to play out that pattern. Not to say necessarily that this has to play out. It doesn't. It could just keep going and staying on the trend, right, and just invalidate the cup. But we are sitting at the possible presentation of the handle forming out right now, and if it did, it really wouldn't make me surprised at all. Let me make myself disappear in the chart bigger so you can see this. The 50 SMA is this line here. Like, let's just say it keeps trending that way. A cup forming just under or around that support of the 50 SMA, because again, 50 SMA is going to have to kind of do its thing along with price action coming down to it, right? Even with the 200 SMA, with over time, could definitely come up and support a handle playing out here, right? And boom. But here's the thing, like, and I'm not saying I'm 100% with this either, but my cup and handle patterns, when it plays out or when it comes close to playing out, I usually give it half the depth of the cup for the handle, and then half, maybe just a little short of half of the length of the cup as well for my handle. It doesn't necessarily have to be super long, right? Because then you'd be going into a W formation and stuff like that. You don't want the handle to be too long. But let's just say, if I go here and get my arches here, let's just say, right? Let's just say that plays out. It doesn't have to be exact. Things can be close to rhyming and still play out and still hold true. Well, let's just say here, right? And we get half. Let's say this is respectable. We get a good handle, which is something like that, right? You got to be prepared for that price action to take you from 205 all the way down to 150, right? Everybody and their mama on this handle forming is going to tell you on the way down, like, oh, you know, doom, gloom, bears, it's over, blah, 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 blah. But you got to remember, in order for that cup and handle pattern, which is bullish, to play out, you got to have that down ebb, right? The ebb and flow. I don't know. So I'm going to leave this on here and just project out a little bit and see what happens. That'd be really interesting to see what happens. Not to say, you know, again, if you just have FOMO, little filler buy, $20, $30 will make you feel like a winner. Let me see here. Par down 10%. Wow, holy crap. 10%. This one's hard. Look, I will say here, I would not be buying on just based on charts. Just based on charts, right? And it's really easy to see why. It's really easy to see why. But if I look at this price action right here, I can point it out to you. I just made it yellow. That's what the price action is currently. Resistance. Oh, here. Resistance. Resistance. Average, support, and resistance. Resistance. And you're on it right now. I'm just not one of those people, especially if I don't know the fundamentals and there's nothing like a catalyst that's being advertised out there on their social medias and stuff like that. If there's no reason for this umph to break through, which was in the past their glass ceiling, right? Hopefully we want them to break past it and stuff like that. But hold on one second, I'm almost done. If there's no real catalyst, why would you be buying which has held up as resistance in the past? Hold on one second, son. You're being annoying right now because you're not listening.
Hi, guys.
Nobody can see you. I have an 8 and 10-year-old. Huh? Oh, in my gym bag. Anyway, sorry guys. I have two boys. They're 8 and 10. They don't care at all what daddy's doing. But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to FUD it. I'm not trying to FUD, you know, this project at all. But you know, that's just me. That's just me. Yeah. You know. Anything else out there, guys? Anything else? I guess I didn't even cover Adam. Adam down. Well, that's not the chart. Adam down 1.56. I'll show you guys right now. Kind of to be expected. You know, I was sharing with people a while ago. Again, this long-term resistance line. Shared that long-term resistance line. Look how it got hit to a T, and now we're just rinsing and repeating my my DCA strategies here. Look. Got hit to a T, came down to 750, same section that I was sharing with everybody before. And from this first zone of our DCA strategy, right? If you just put your limit buys there to where we are right now, you're still up almost 20%. It's 19%. It doesn't take much. It's pretty easy, yeah, to be honest with you. So yeah, right now I'm watching to see again if price action comes back down for Adam. I'm watching to see if we bounce off of this. We could just go sideways here, wedge it out in between, which is resistance and our support line. Hopefully it holds up, right? We could do this for Adam here. Boom, 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 and just do our thing. I will say, kind of concerning though, because if we do start forming a wedge pattern of sorts here, usually the way that you enter into a wedge pattern is the way that you exit a wedge pattern. So it's not ideal. Maybe we can go back here and we can say that we entered onto the upside here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 will enter. I don't know. Kind of too early to tell, but yeah, that's Adam for you right now. Jackal, like I was saying, storage application play in the Cosmos ecosystem. Super bullish on Jackal. I'm watching out for the 50 SMA, which is right around here, 29 to 30 cents. Stargaze, love, one of my favorite NFT platforms. Watch for the 50 SMA, which is basically where it's at right now. Osmosis down 5.44%. Watch the SMAs. Watch this recent, which was once resistance for us. See if it holds up as support right there. Akash still doing pretty well. $3.76. Watch the SMAs. 50. Again, this is all daily, right? 50, 200 SMA here. That's where I'm looking out for. Neutron right now down 3% as well. SMAs like everything else. Tia down 2.35. Watch the SMAs. Gino dying off again here, 11% down. Watch the SMAs. Everything is SMAs. Especially in the Cosmos ecosystem. Oh, AVAX. I don't talk about Avalanche or AVAX. as much as I should. I do hold quite a bit of Avalanche, but I was showing a lot of people $51 was where I was expecting resistance to come in. We're trying to fight to stay relevant at resistance, but if we don't, watch the SMA right here, right around 39 to $40, and then again right down here $30, 23, and so on. You see the yellow zones there. But that's what I got for you guys. I want to keep it short and sweet. We're at 50 minutes already. So yeah, I will say I really do appreciate all of you guys' support. I know I'm not here as much as I used to. Again, I don't like to be clickbaiting people. I like to try to just help out whenever I can, and whenever something's relevant, I like to speak. But if you guys would still, nonetheless, it would help out quite a bit if you guys like, support, follow, whether you're on Instagram. I'm not even on Instagram. Whether you're on Twitter, aka X, and or YouTube, I really would appreciate the support. Don't forget, if you're on YouTube, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe, guys. If you guys like the videos, you guys liked what I was talking about, you guys think it makes sense, hopefully it helps you guys out in your journey. And then if you guys subscribe, you guys will see more of these videos. Anyway, that's